everyday superpower where we talk body language, relationships, game, everything in between. Here's one for you. This was conjured earlier on. I thought I'd make a note of this one. What I like to do is I like to read. Yeah, in the moment. Well, I like to walk and read at the same time. So there you go. If you ever see anybody doing that, that's relatively uncommon. If you ever see someone do that, that's probably me. When I'm walking from location to location, I'll read at the same time in order to, make the most out of my time. I've got limited space and time to do anything, so to get reading in is like borderline impossible. So when I'm walking for like 15 minutes to a different location, I'll just read a book along the way. So what I do is whilst I'm reading, if I come across an idea, if I manifest some unique, well, it's never unique. We are all one. There's never any true uniqueness. It's not a completely brand new concept, of course. But when we are, reading and I generate a idea and a perspective I've not necessarily considered before, I just close the book and I think, right, I'm gonna meditate on that for a moment. I'm gonna finish off the rest of my journey just sort of pondering and going into the depths of that idea. If it makes sense to me, because these ideas are fleeting and they come and go. So to emphasize on one you catch is quite fulfilling in a way. And I thought about this when it could be quite a good practice for you, right? When you're speaking to someone, or when you're communicating to someone, or if you're listening to people speak, or if you're watching the television and seeing people communicate, whether it just be by themselves to a camera or to a group of people, or however, just any sort of person doing a thing, look at it as they're conscious. Listen to the words coming out of their mouth as a generation of their conscious entity. Their brain, the puppeteer behind the mask. What they have and how they present and what you visibly see is merely a vessel. Their body is not them. What is them exists within the brain, within the higher force, within what we don't actually see. So if you just pay attention to what they're saying and how they're saying things, you can construct an identity and a person of what you hear and what you identify with your mind's eye, completely separate to the avatar you see before them. Or before you, should I say, my apologies. So when you're listening to me speaking now, it's not about what I'm wearing. It's not about how I'm dressed. You're listening to my voice, what ideas I'm conjuring in my head, what stories I tell. You can listen to me and say, is he bullshitting me? Is he projecting this? Is he speaking with a particular tone that indicates this, that, or the third? And as you analytically assess me, as you break me apart to understand me and identify whichever sort of piecing of understanding you can through your recognition of patterns that you've developed through your entire life, you will see something that is a lot deeper and connective than just observing the figure before you that is, manipulated in whichever way, which is orchestrated in whichever way, If you're speaking to a woman, you can speak to her in a soul by understanding her to a deeper level, by paying attention to the words she speaks. Why is she saying these things? Where do these things derive from? Is this linked to her childhood? Is this linked to her ancestry prior to this? Is this hardwired within this feminine form, something I've not particularly picked up on or whatnot? I mean, don't get me wrong, you can assess the attire and the body composition, and of course this is a body language channel first and foremost, so I'm not saying it's not important whatsoever, but I'm saying if you want to go to a deeper level of understanding and communication with an individual, then you should start to delve into where their thoughts manifest, where their ideas come from, where their reactions come from, and that's within here. So if we pay strictly attention direct and inwards, you're going to have such an attentive quality that they've not experienced anywhere else, because everyone's walking around engaging with people on the physical, on the foundational plane, purely physical foundational plane. But when we speak to each other and enjoy each other and engage with each other on the psychological plane, one step up, the mental, we might be able to verge onwards into the spiritual plane, as to where we just, connect on such a deep basis that we will, or at least they will, never experience such a person again. Yeah? You'll be known as godlike, you'll be known as supernatural, ethereal, a star. You'll have these qualities within you that create such magnetism and such awe, even though you are but a mere human in a flesh suit yourself, But this is but merely a vessel. Don't take or leave everything down to what you perceive before you, because that's superficial. That is completely superficial. What resides within could have so much depth and so much excitement to explore that you're missing 99% of the whole situation. You're actually missing out what is them. If they were but a mouthpiece in the mind and could express themselves through that limitation, you would have everything that makes them them without the body. Whereas if they were just the body, the avatar they chose, and they did not have this conscious and subconscious process that could generate and create communication, you would be speaking to an inanimate object. It would be meaningless and nothingness. So what I'm saying is, when you see these people and engage with these people, think, this isn't coming from what I'm seeing before me. This is coming from deep in within, in a space that is hidden from the world, that is simply using this body as a manifestation of what they want to mask themselves as, what they want to perform as, what they want to, express themselves as in a very artistic fashion. That's some game. I'm signing out on that one. Peace.